Want to get real, understandable data so that you know where the problems are in your funnel? Then you need to start tracking funnel analytics right now. In this short video, I'm going to teach you how to use custom coding to track data and analytics using the Facebook Pixel and Google Analytics Enhanced e-commerce reporting. My name is Elise Nelson, and I'm an e-commerce strategist and published author that has helped hundreds of e-commerce shop owners get inside their customer's mind to save more time, make more money, and develop more confidence in their online sales strategies using data and analytics. And in this video, I'm going to help you start understanding your funnel and stop guessing if it's working. But first, a quick question. What product or service are you selling with your funnels? So depending upon how you have your funnel starting, you may have a landing page followed by an opt-in, or you may have the opt-in and lead magnet prior to your landing page. For this particular product that I'm going to be going over today, we are starting with a landing page, and then they're given the option of using the free thing or going ahead and doing the paid thing. And so depending upon what they do, you're going to track this in different ways. We will clearly be tracking all of these steps, but I wanted to talk a little bit about which steps have to do with e-commerce if you're using Google Analytics to track. So for the e-commerce tracking, you want to make sure that you do a view product code, and that is going to tell you how many people actually came to this funnel to possibly buy your product. Then you want to make sure that you have a checkout code. So this is going to be initiating checkout, and this is going to tell you how many people actually went to the checkout page. So it's important to have these separate because you want to know once someone sees your offer, if how many of them go to checkout. This is going to give you a percentage, a conversion rate from viewing it to checkout. And it's important to know the conversion rate for each of these steps so that you know what it means, for example, advertising, or how many people you need to get to send to your funnel to get a purchase. All right, so we've got view product, that's going to go on your landing page. Then we've got checkout, which is going to go on your checkout. And then your confirmation or one-time offer is going to have the purchase conversion, because if this is a confirmation page and it's not an offer, clearly that means that they went through the checkout to get here. Or if this is a one-time only offer, they had to have completed the checkout in order to get to this page. So your purchase conversion is going to go right here. Then if you have additional offers, you will have a purchase conversion as well. So once they get to checkout, if they check out, they will go to your confirmation or your OTO page. They will either purchase this OTO or not purchase this OTO. If they purchase it, you should have another purchase conversion. So this is more tracking for purchase conversion. And if this is a confirmation page, then you're done. If this is a second OTO, then again, they might purchase it or they might not. So if they purchase it, you need to do another conversion tracking so that you know when they purchase this. And then on the other side, if that first OTO they don't purchase, they'll still be taken to OTO 2 if you have one. And again, if they purchase, you want to make sure that you have a purchase conversion. So all of these stars are where you have to track for e-commerce tracking, for purchase conversion in particular. And if you want to track that, you have to have these codes put on here. There are other codes that you want to make sure you use as well, such as view content, so that you know when they've looked at your opt-in. There are also lead magnet codes as well. Okay, so let me show you what these starred areas look like in Google Analytics. So when you come to Google Analytics, conversions, e-commerce, shopping behavior, that is going to be where these steps are really important. So we want to be able to see our total sales, of course. But in addition to that, it can be really useful to know what your conversion rate is overall from your website. So all sessions is going to be anyone that goes to your website. So if you have multiple funnels on the same website, if you have a website set up plus funnel set up on the same domain name, all of those are going to be showing here. Then this next session is sessions with product views. And so this is specifically when you send this code to Google Analytics, the view product. And it's telling me it's 10% of the total. So 4 out of 40 went to see the product view. We are not going to be using add to cart. You can set up a click conversion for that if you want. But we're going to go ahead and skip over to checkout, which we showed here again. So we've got these checkouts, this checkout here. And you can see it is 5% of the total. So 2 into 40 is 5%. And then finally, sessions with transactions are the people that actually purchase. So that's going to be any of these purchase events. And you can see that is 2.5% out of the total 40. So 1 out of 4 is actually 25% conversion rate if you start with your product views. But if you go for everybody that's visited your website, you're looking at a 2.5% conversion rate. So this is really important because it really illustrates where you're losing people. If they go to the product view and then nobody checks out, and everybody goes to checkout, that's a pretty good indicator you need to fix something there. If they go to checkout but nobody purchases, that's a pretty good indicator you may need to fix something there. So this is incredibly important to be able to track this all the way through. This is why the e-commerce conversion is so important for your website and why we're going to set up this conversion for your website today. I'm going to be using the spreadsheet that I created to help you keep track of all of your codes. If you have this spreadsheet, then great, go ahead and follow along. If not, you will need to go and find the codes that you need for each of these tracking steps and then use them. If you'd like access to this spreadsheet, simply click the link that's in the description and it'll take you to where you can get the spreadsheet. All right, so for those of you who are going to be using the spreadsheet, I want to give you a little information here about the All Pages tracking code. So first thing that you need to know is that the All Pages tracking code is required for the custom tracking to work that I showed you in the previous lesson. This is going to be your Facebook pixel, and that has to be on every page of your website. And the global site tag is for Google Analytics and Google AdWords. And again, this needs to be on every page of your website. That's why I'm calling this the All Pages tracking code or script, because it needs to go on all pages. Other codes that you might want to consider using that also need to be installed on all pages are a Facebook Messenger code, a Hotjar code. And for those of you who don't know, Hotjar is a software that is online that you can sign up for free that literally videotapes people using your website. So you can actually watch what they do when they go to your website. And this makes it really easy for you to see. Sometimes people are confused. You can tell really quick. If you're interested in Hotjar, I do have an affiliate link. Again, it is free to sign up and that link will be in the description. You can also do things like put your YouTube code here, your social media tracking, any kind of tracking codes that you have that need to be on every page of your site, you can add here in the spreadsheet. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I mean. Here's the one that I'm using for my scheduled biz. You can see I've added the Google Merchant Center, YouTube code, and a Hotjar code. All I did was put what it was and then copied and pasted the scripts in here, and they will be combined into all of my page scripts, which I'll show you how that works in just a moment. But basically all you do is you write the name of the platform, put the script in that you need to use, and then you're set to go. All right, so back here to our blank one. It is incredibly important that you get your ID numbers. That's the very first thing you need to do. If you're using the spreadsheet, you can click on each of these names and it will take you to the link where you can find your ID number. And then here in the ID column, I have some little comments that will tell you where exactly you need to go to find that ID number. Once you have your ID numbers, you are simply going to type them in. I like to double click. That keeps everything formatted appropriately. I'm just going to go ahead and make up some numbers. It is important that on the Google Analytics code, you leave the UA, and on the Google AdWords code, you use the AW. You cannot take those off. For Facebook Messenger, it is actually your page ID that you need. And you can see the ID names are all listed here so that you can find them easier. Okay, so now that we have your ID numbers, you are ready to go ahead and input those into your page scripts. So the Facebook one, you're going to have to do manually. So we're going to just double click and then hit Control A or Command A if you're on Mac, and then Control C or Command C. And then we're going to come in here to the all page script for Facebook. We're going to double click and we're going to find all of these lines. So there should be 2. Make sure you do not delete the little apostrophes on either end. You want to make sure it's just the line. And then I'm going to hit Control V or Command V if you're on Mac, and that'll put my number in there. So then I'm going to do the same thing right here. Again, don't delete anything except for the line. And now you can see that code is correct for the Facebook pixel. Also, I want to mention that if you want to see your coding up here, that's also an option. So if you come over here to where you get this little double arrow, you can then drag down, and then you'll be able to actually see that full code there as well, which can be really useful. For the global site tag for Google Analytics and Google AdWords, we are going to actually do this in a different way. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to come and I want you to select from the UA dash all the way to the line. You're going to hit Command C or Control C to copy that. And then we're going to hit Command F or Control F to go to the find. I'm going to click these 3 little dots and I'm going to find all the places where it has that UA with the blank. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to copy it and I'm going to replace it with the actual number. So we want to make sure we only do that on this sheet, and then you're just going to click on Replace All, and it'll tell you it's replaced the 2 instances of the Universal Analytics code for Google Analytics. So then we'll hit Done. We're going to do the same thing. We'll just go to this Item View Scripts code, and you can see here's the AW, which is for AdWords. We're going to again highlight that whole thing, hit Control Copy. Then we're going to hit Control F for Find, hit our 3 little dots, put that in here. Then we're going to come over here to our AdWords and copy the actual one and then paste it. We want to make sure that's just this sheet and hit replace all. You can see it's replaced 11 instances. So now all of our codes should have the actual number instead of the lines. That's the easiest way instead of having to go through and do it manually for each one. So now your codes for everything should be set up with the correct ID numbers. Okay, go ahead and add on any other things you want to do. So if you've got one for YouTube or whatever, put your script in here and your platform here. And then this combine all page scripts is going to take all of these codes and put them into one thing. Otherwise, you would have to go through and manually copy each one. Or if you try to just copy and paste, it'll actually paste a bunch of extra like quotes and things that you don't need, which will mess up your coding. So instead of that, we're going to double click on this one here, and you're going to hit Control A to select everything, and then Control C to copy everything. Again, that's Command on Mac. Then you're going to come over to your FG Funnels account, go to whatever funnel it is that you want to install this on. This will also work on a website. Click on Settings, and then you're going to come into the head tracking code, and you're going to Control V or Command V to paste. You can also right click and click on Paste. And you're going to paste that code right here in the head tracking code. This is where we are going to be using specific steps in your funnel and assigning the codes to each step. So here on the main page of the spreadsheet, which you can again click the link if you would like to get access to the spreadsheet that has all the coding already done for you, we are on the Code Management tab. You can see here at the bottom of the page, there are 2 tabs. And the Code Management tab is the first tab that we've already looked at and talked about. That was for our all pages script. Just a quick reminder, anything that is shaded gray, you should not be editing. You should not be touching. You should be leaving those things alone. So we are going to be talking now about this second tab called Funnel Management. Let's go ahead and go to Funnel Management. Again, the gray things you should absolutely not be touching. The very first thing you need to do on the Funnel Management section is the funnel details, which is this first section right here. You can see I've already filled out a few of these to give you examples of what this would look like. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your funnel name. You're going to skip this column because it's gray. You are going to go to FG Funnels and copy the link to your funnel and take it back over here and put it in here. And that way you can really quickly, just by coming to this page, go to any of your funnels, you get all of your information right here. Each funnel will have one row, so you can list tons of funnels on here and have it all in one place. So you're going to put your FGF URL, your offer. So this is kind of like what category you consider this. So I have courses, memberships, I do challenges. So you can put that here. This is just a way for you to describe what it is. Put your original offer price, okay? So the first thing in the 7-minute-a-day social media challenge is the challenge itself. So you can sign up for the challenge. That costs $100. My first one-time only offer is an ebook. So I put ebook here. The cost of that OTO is $7. Then my second OTO is a website review call. The cost of that is $50. Now you can see if you come over here, my total price is the addition of those 3 columns. So if you don't have an OTO, you just leave these blank. If you have just one OTO, then leave the OTO 2 blank. Basically, you're going to fill this in, and then it'll give you your total price right here next to the funnel name. So if someone bought everything on this funnel, I'd make $157. So this is how you can kind of tell where you're at. So that is the funnel details. You want to make sure that you go ahead and fill that in so that we have access to all the information you need. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to come over to the right, and you're going to come to the codes themselves. Oh, there's also a column for notes. This is for anything you want to put, if you wanted to put notes. And I've got this set up to freeze the first column and freeze the top 2 rows so that you can always see the titles of what you're working on. So here's the 7-minute-a-day social media challenge. I can still see that. You want to go through and copy and paste not the FG Funnels link, the actual URL where someone can find this specific page into the URL column. So you'll see these are set up in columns of 3. So this is for the landing page. So this entire thing is the landing page, these 3 columns. Then the next one is the opt-in. So this entire thing is the opt-in. This is the opt-in confirmation. This entire thing is the opt-in confirmation. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. So my landing page for this funnel is right here. So this is what someone will see when they're going through my funnel. So I would copy this link, bring it back over here, and paste it here in the URL. My suggestion is that you double click and then paste it, because that will maintain your formatting. So put your URL though. Then go to the next one. Do the URL for your opt-in page. So for me, that would be, actually I don't have that one opened, but you would go in and you would copy the link, put it there. So do all your URLs. That's the next thing to do. Copy and paste all your URLs for each step, okay? Once you've gone through and copied and pasted all your URLs, then you're going to have to actually edit your script. So here we are on the landing page. The script column has a copy of what was from the code management. So you can see this is an item view script. That is actually going to be used on your landing page and your opt-in page. Those are both places where we are going to be viewing something, okay? So the script is already here. All you're going to do is double click on it, hit Control-A or Command-A and Control-A or Control-C, or you can right click and hit copy. And then you're going to come over to the row that you're working on. This one I already have done, so I'm just going to do it here. Double click and then Control-V or Command-V to paste and hit enter, okay? So I want to be able to see this entire script really easily here at the top, so I'm going to come over here, let my arrow till I get the double arrows, drag this down, and now you can see there are those blank lines again. So these are the lines that you need to fill in. So for this particular one, this is a view content snippet. This is the Facebook, Google Analytics, and AdWords is this one. And so you need to fill in all these blanks. So this is my landing page. So on my landing page, what they are seeing is they are seeing the social media challenge. So 3 months of social media in just 7 minutes a day. So I'm going to go there and I'm going to fill this in. So I suggest for your content name, you do what it is that you're selling. So for me, this funnel is for my 7 minute a day social media challenge. So that's my content name. So I'm actually going to highlight that and copy it because I'm going to need that again for Google Analytics. So if I scroll down, you can see here's ID and name. So I actually use this same thing for my ID and my name because that's what I want to show up. You can use all of these, I accidentally just deleted that quote. So you got to make sure you don't delete these little quotes because it'll mess up the coding. You can use all 5 of these for different things. I don't use them for different things. I just put the ID and the name are both a 7 minute a day social media challenge. And then the code for AdWords is the same all the time. So you can just leave that as is. We don't even need to touch that. The next thing is going to be the category. So for me, this is a challenge. That's how I've decided to separate my things out. And then I'm going to copy that and I'm going to use that for my list name and my category. And the reason I'm using it for my list name is because there is a separate section in Google Analytics that will let you view your lists and it'll give you conversion info. And so making your category be your list name is actually a good tactic so that you can monitor all of that. There's not really a way to view your categories as easily in Google Analytics. So then I also have the category up here for Facebook. So I'm going to paste that there. And then you can see I've still got the line for value. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And the value for this is $100. So I'm going to take that and then I'm going to copy it because I also need to put that in the price for Google Analytics. Okay, so now you can see I have filled in all the blanks. So that code is ready for me to paste into my landing page. So we're going to double click on it. We're going to Control-A, Control-C to copy. And then we are going to go back to our funnel. And this is the landing page. So you're going to click on Edit Page. You're going to click on Settings, Tracking Code. And then right here in the header code, there's probably not going to be anything there, so it'll look like this. You want to be on the header code though, and you're just going to paste that. So I'm actually not going to do that because as you can see, I already have my coding there. Hit Yes, Save, and then you'll have to hit Save here in the upper right corner. And that is going to put the tracking code on that page. So my suggestion is actually to go into the spreadsheet, grab your gray section, Control-A, Control-Copy, put it into the custom script section, go ahead and edit all of those lines. So for this one, I'm doing the opt-in. So this one is not for the 7 minute a day social media challenge that's paid. For me, I also have a free version. So you want to make sure you change what you're calling your content on each thing. So for me, I would put free social media challenge. And I would probably put that it's an opt-in. So that's what I'm going to call the content on this one. And then I would come down and I would put that for my ID. And I would put that for my name. And then I need a category. So this is going to be an opt-in. For me, this is not the challenge. This is an opt-in. And I'm also going to put that as my list name. And then I'm going to come back up to the top, put it as my category as well. And then again, my value. So on this one, it's an opt-in. So my value is actually $0. And so is my price. Then I can scroll down and see that all of my lines are filled in. And so then I would come on to this one. And this one is actually a lead because this is saying that they did the opt-in and they confirmed. So for this one, you're going to, again, put what the lead is. So it's the same as this because it was the free social media challenge. So I would go ahead and put that same information in here. Value again would be 0. And you can see on the Google Analytics code, there's only a place for value on this one. It doesn't actually let you put in like the name, which is fine because really the only point here is that you want to know that you generated a lead. But then on Facebook, you can still put the content name and category. So you're going to go through, get those gray scripts, copy and paste them here, and then edit them. So this one is for checkout. So you can see now I've got an initiate checkout script. Again, we've got name, category, and value for Facebook. And it's going to work out the same way for Google Analytics. And again, for AdWords, I don't need to really fill anything in. On the OTO one, this is going to be similar. Where you start getting the OTOs, it gets to be a little more difficult though, because we want to say that we saw whatever the offer is, the one-time offer is, but we also want to say that we purchased whatever the previous page was. So let me show you what that looks like. For my funnel for the 7-minute a day social media challenge, I started out with this. This is my landing page. And when they scroll down to the bottom, they can either sign up for the free challenge, so this is my opt-in, or they can sign up for the paid challenge. So if they sign up for the free challenge, they're going to come to this page. They're going to sign up, they're going to get put into the free challenge. That's it, okay? So there's a confirmation page after this page. If they sign up for the paid challenge, they're going to go to checkout, right? So once they get to the checkout page, they're going to fill everything in, they're going to submit their payment, and after they're done, they're going to be taken to your offer. Okay, so in this case, it's an ebook. If they get to this page, it means that they finished the previous page, which is checkout. So on this page, we want to say they bought whatever your offer was. Does that make sense? In addition to that, we want to say that they saw this OTO of the ebook. So you're actually having to do 2 codes for every platform. So if we go back to here, you can see on the OTO script, if I look up here, I've got a view content snippet from Facebook and a purchase snippet from Facebook. So you have to make sure you put the right information into each one of these so that you are sending the correct conversion to Facebook or Google Analytics. So on the purchase for this one, I would want to put that they purchased the 7-minute a day social media challenge. But on the view content, I would want to put that they saw the ebook. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. I already have this code done. So here is the view content. It is telling me that the content name was Browser versus Buyer, which is the name of my book, and that it's an ebook. But the purchase was for the social media challenge. It was $100. Then we get to Google Analytics, and here's a view snippet. So you can see the view, the value was $7. That's how much the book is. It's for Browser versus Buyer. It's an ebook. And so that's my view. But when I get to my purchase, you can see that it is $100. It is the social media challenge, and it is the challenge. So depending upon whether it says view or if it says purchase, you have to put the correct information, okay? And that's how all of these OTOs are going to work, and the confirmation page. The purchase is whatever the thing was before that page, and the view is the thing that's on that page. So I hope that that makes sense. And if you have any questions, definitely, let me know and I'll be happy to help you. So same thing, we go to OTO2, we've got the same thing, view content and purchase, view content and purchase. And then as we go down, page view and purchase. And so you have to make sure that you fill these out correctly. And same thing here. So On this one, they did not purchase OTO1. So you can see this one is OTO2. It's assuming that they purchased OTO1. This one is OTO2, but they did not purchase OTO1. So that means you do not need a purchase. So if you look on this one, it's only view content. So it's important that you pay attention to where you put the things. So let me show you this funnel again. So here is the funnel. You can see I've got the landing page. I've got the free challenge sign up and the thank you. So that is our opt-in and opt-in confirmation. Then I've got the checkout page. I've got OTO1, which is the browser versus buyer book. And anyone who comes here has to have checked out. Then I have OTO2, that website review call, OTO2 website review call with no ebook. So this is actually two different pages that are basically identical. The only reason I made it two different pages is so that I can put the tracking code dependent upon whether or not they bought the ebook. So let me show you that ebook page again. So here is the ebook page right here. And you can see I've got two options. I can either say, yes, I want to save 53%, or no thanks, I don't need this now. These are actually both set up as buttons because I wanted to be able to set them up to go to a specific page in the funnel. So when I click the yes, I want to save 53%, I go to this page, the website review call, because that means I paid for the opt-in. If I click on the no thanks, I don't need this now, I'm directed to this page that says I did not buy the ebook. And so this code is different than this code. This page will have purchase conversion and view data. This page will only have item view data. So that's why there's two different columns here in the funnel, OTO2 and then OTO2 without an OTO1. This one only has views and this one has purchases and views because this one had a purchase on it. So the same thing holds true, and I'm going to come back to our plan so you can look at this here as well. Checkout, you go to OTO1, you're going to do a Google Analytics purchase conversion. If they purchase, you're going to do the Google Analytics purchase conversion, so that's OTO2. If they don't purchase, that means it's OTO2 without an OTO1, you notice there's no star. We don't do a purchase conversion on this page. So I hope that makes sense to you. The same thing is going to happen from here. So from here, I might purchase or I might not. So if I purchase from here, that means I purchased both OTOs because this was the purchase side and this is also the purchase side, okay? If I don't purchase here, it means I only purchased OTO1 because I didn't purchase OTO2. On this side, we know that they did not purchase OTO1. That's why they ended up over here. And so if they purchased, they only purchased OTO2. And if they do not purchase, they did not purchase any OTOs. They only purchased the original offer, which was shown on the landing page and checkout. So that is how that's going to happen. That's why you have to have so many different codes. You'll notice there's these numbers here. So this is telling you how many pages you're going to have in your funnel. So if you have all of these steps, you're going to have 11 pages for your funnel. If you don't have an opt-in and a lead magnet, or you don't have a landing page, you might eliminate these 3, in which case you would still have 8 pages in your funnel if you go from checkout to OTO1, OTO2, and then confirmation. That's going to give you 8 pages. So I'm going to come back to my funnel, and you're going to see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 steps in my funnel. And that is because I want to be able to differentiate between if they purchased each step. So this consists of an original offer, an OTO1, and an OTO2 needs 11 pages, 11 steps in the funnel. I hope that makes sense. They don't go straight down this, so I'm not setting up next step, next step, next step. Each of these will go based upon which button they click to the correct page by setting it up to go that way. So let me show you if I edit this page. So if I click on this button, it says that I'm going to select a step. So it doesn't say next step. And then I choose OTO2 website review call because if they click this button, it means they are buying that, okay? This one says link to a step, OTO2, and this one says website review call, no OTO1. And so we're selecting which step we want them to go to. So that is how that is going to work. You're going to go ahead and go through and edit each of these steps for the correct information. I suggest going ahead and doing that first. You want to make sure you've got your correct things into each of these on the scripts, And that way you can just copy and paste these all at once. So once you've gone through and edited every single one of these scripts, so you're going to copy and paste from the gray, put it into the box, and then edit it for that specific funnel. You're going to come back to your FG funnels, go into each step, and simply copy and paste right into the page. And so I showed you this previously, but let me remind you one more time. If you go into settings, tracking code, and then here in the header is where you will paste your code. That document has all of the scripts you will need for all of your funnels. You can list up to 50 funnels. If you need more than 50 funnels, I would not try and add rows because it's going to mess up all of the calculations. Just right click and do duplicate, and then it'll make a second one that has 50 more. You'll have to go in and, highlight these and delete them, but if you think you may have more than 50 funnels, you'll just duplicate. We did go over how to use the codes, inputting them into your funnels or websites. If you needed help finding your codes or your tracking IDs, definitely click the link to be taken to the full step-by-step. If you'd like a copy of my spreadsheet where I helped you organize all this data in one place and gave you all the codes so that you don't have to go searching for them, and you would like the links and instructions to find your tracking IDs, all that info is also available if you click the link. You will also get access to my notes, which go through everything we talked about in this lesson. And finally, if you're interested in checking out Funnel Gorgeous Funnels yourself, which I highly recommend is the best funnel builder around, please click my affiliate link to join us as well. Again, my name is Elise. I help e-commerce shop owners demystify data and analytics. I teach you how to get inside your customer's mind to save more time, make more money, and develop more confidence in your online sales strategies. If you would like access to all the additional content that I showed you during these videos, please click the link and I'll be happy to give that to you. If you have any questions, holler at me and I will be happy to answer them. And just go out and live your dream. That's all I want for you. I want you to live your dream. Holler at me and tell me how you're living yours. Thanks again. It was great walking you through how to use Google Analytics on your Funnel Gorgeous funnels.